The whole thing is, girls are usually quite lazy.
What's going on, guys? BMS and Naya back with another video. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Make sure you guys don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So here we go.
Hi, my name is Maya Milusheva. I'd like to start with a short introduction about myself. I'm a woman in IT, obviously. I'm a CEO of a quite profitable IT company. I'm a mother as well, so you would say I went through quite a lot in the IT industry. So I have the experience and authority to talk about this topic. Now, what I want to say is that the whole talk about women in IT is usually a bad thing for us. Because basically what it says is, well, it's okay to have lower income, it's okay to do worse than boys in the IT industry because, well, there's a world conspiracy against you, you know, people hate you, that's why. So that's why I'm against the whole talk. Also, I did some recruiting because I have a company. And also I went to a school that had like 8 girls and 100 boys. So, you know, I'm quite used to being around a lot of boys. The whole thing is, girls are usually quite lazy. They're just not that good programmers. Sorry.
I have differing opinions about this. I can't just sit here and say all women programmers are lazy, okay? That's obviously untrue, okay? Like it's hard work to get into these roles, and if you know, it's difficult to get into these technical roles, okay?
Yeah.
But I think the ratio is going to be off as well. There's less women than men, right? So maybe the ratios are just going to be off from that. There are going to be some lazy male programmers. There's going to be lazy women programmers. That's just what it is, right? I think there's also another side of like bringing women into tech where they try to make it seem like it's easy. And there are some women who maybe think that way where it's like, oh, I don't have to work as hard for these technical interviews and like I can get in just because I'm a woman. So I'm not sure if she's come across those types of women in the interview processes. That could also be a case.
So you think that, do you think that some women are getting into tech for the money or because it's more so maybe an easier path to become wealthy? Or like, why do you think that? Because if you take 100 women and 100 men and you put them side by side, I mean, who do you think is going to have the better programmers?
Side by side, I would probably argue men, just because men are more logical, just naturally, right? I think that's just, you know, but again, anyone can be taught a skill, all right? So I'm just going to leave that there. Men and women can be taught. Like, that's just what it is.
But I think there's intangibles that you can't teach, right? You can't teach somebody to go above and beyond. You can't teach reliability. You can't teach somebody to ball out and, you know, be the next Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan or whatever the situation is, right? I think men have that killer instinct, so to speak, that some women, not all, but some women don't necessarily have. But what do you think?
No, and I think, well, okay, tech is obviously a very good industry to get into because it is lucrative. Like there's a lot of money to be made in there, and also it is a very interesting career choice to have as well. So I think it's a mix of both. You have to be interested in what you're doing to be able to push through and want to like get higher up positions and whatnot, right? I think that goes across the board for men and women, and I think there is statistically said, I think across any industry that women will value more like family and staying at home with children as opposed to chasing the career like men. So I think that's not going to be any different for tech.
They just don't want to get their hands dirty to do the job. And when I tried to do some recruiting, I intentionally wanted to recruit women. And at the end, I failed to do so. Do you want to know why? Because most of those girls were usually just cheating, and they were just not good programmers. At the end, I had to recruit boys. And that's why I think the whole talk about let's recruit more women is bad, because at the end you're recruiting worse programmers. At the end, your company is going to suffer. You're gonna lose some money. I know it's trendy to talk about.
Oh yeah, they sell you a dream. Let me tell you, they sell you a dream. So I think she seems very frustrated, and I think it's more so trying to focus on hiring the best talent as opposed to just specifically trying to go for women. I think it's good to be open, right? Like you shouldn't be like saying we're only going to focus on men because they are the better programmers. No, I don't think that's fair, right? So I think it's better to say, okay, we're open to people who are good, who are skilled in what they can do, right? And if there's women in that pool, then that's great, right?
But I don't think they're doing that. These 3 women right here, it seems
in this, like event.
It seems like they're targeting women. Like they're not targeting people.
Yeah.
So I think that in itself is a problem. The fact that women don't naturally want to be programmers or, tech industries and things of that nature, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to say all, but it seems like women like to go to the path of least resistance in regards to what works for them as a woman. So, the nursing industry, things that play out to their strengths as a woman. Okay. So I think for men, because they're logical creatures, being a programmer is more tailored to them as an individual because it goes with their inherent DNA.
Okay. So I think for me, maybe I can only speak on myself. My dad was an engineer for over 20 years, and I'm very close with him, and he taught me a lot, and I was able to like see what he does for work and whatnot. So I had a huge influence from my dad, right, to even get into this field. So for me, I have a different, viewpoint on that. I guess technically it's in my DNA because my dad was an engineer, so I don't know if that has a part to play in it.
But did you do it because of your dad, or you genuinely wanted to do this?
It was a combination. Like I think I had my dad's support, and he was also very he was very supportive in me going into this field because he's like, no, I know you're a very smart girl, like you'll be able to do this. If you need help, I'm obviously here to help you, and I was like, all right, let me go into this direction. And obviously you have to take into account how much money am I going to make after school, and the types of roles that I want to go for. There's more stuff the type of lifestyle that you want to have for yourself as well. So I know for me.
But what I'm saying is, once you get past all that, you're in it now.
Okay. I'm in the job.
Do you want to do this long term? That's the question, right? Because people get into something, once they finally get into it, they're like, I don't want to do this.
That's a lot of people though. There are people who study finance and they go into corporate finance and then they hate it after a year or something, right? That could be any profession.
But hating something and not being good at it are two different things. I could hate job A, but be good at job A, but really hate it.
Okay.
She isn't saying that. She's saying they're really bad at it.
About women in IT. But I think women should just start studying more and getting the job done. And I honestly don't see girls staying up until late at their office and working that often. No,
okay, well, that's not healthy for anyone.
It's usually boys staying there. Why?
Yeah, but that's not the argument, right? So the argument is who will do this.
The whole lecture should be removed, and I think it's just bullshit.
Okay. Just 1 second.
What do you want?
Okay. Okay. Everyone has its own opinion. I just want to say one thing, make one thing clear. The whole idea of this presentation is not the sentence, we should recruit more girls. No. We know there is a meritocracy system, and each company should recruit the best program there. The whole idea of this kind of projects and communities is just to spread the word that, hey, there is a project where you can really come, and if you want to really learn, you can learn. Then it's not our responsibility how people may want to just make use of what is offered. We just want to make sure that there is people who are making a career here. They are overcoming the
The video just end. I mean, based on what she's saying towards the ending, she's basically saying she's shining a light, I guess, for women to have the possibility of, I guess, going into the field But I think the reality is there's a reason why women aren't going into that field. And I think the reason being is it's just simply too hard. It's too hard, too demanding, it's too taxing. And ultimately, you know, you may not necessarily have a work-life balance, or, you know, maybe you might not be able to have a family, or you're going to pump 80 hours a week, right? There's going to be more cons, I think, especially at the beginning when you're trying to get your foot into the door and, you know, get some experience under your belt. You're going to have growing pains as a professional. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like I think it's more just to say, hey, there's opportunities for you to like make good money here and being able to like progress your career in this direction, like in more of a technical field. So I honestly don't have an issue with it. I think if women want to explore this industry and see if this is something that they're interested in, I would first suggest like, you know, try working on some projects independently and then see if that's actually what you like, if you like it or not. And then if it is too like, because I don't want to say if it's too difficult, just stop and quit. Like, I don't want to say that. If I thought like that, I would have been done a long time ago. The first time I looked at HTML, I would have been like, hey, I'm done. Like, but that's the thing. When you come up to something that's difficult, if you truly want to learn it, you kind of have to push through, right? So I think it's more so teaching women to push through obstacles than saying it's going to be too hard for you, it's too logical, it's going to be too much, so don't even look that way.
All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and end this video. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time.
Bye, guys.